Hello and welcome to another That's Not a Tutorial. For regular subscribers and visitors to this channel, you're probably looking at me going, who's that bloke? Where's he been? Yes, sorry, it's been a while, but I'm back. I would tell you where I've been and what's been going on, but you don't care, do you? You just want to draw something, which is what we're going to do. For new visitors to the channel or just seeing this video, maybe give it a thumbs up if you like, maybe subscribe to the channel if you like. If you don't, it's fine. We're going to draw today an animal, because that's what we do, and hopefully you can draw along too. So let's just get smack back into it, shall we? Now, today we're going to draw, as you can see, a giraffe. Hello, Mr. Giraffe. Look at you, you dopey looking bastard. So, yes, this has been requested before, I'm pretty sure, and I just haven't got round to it. But the stupid thing is I've been drawing a lot of giraffes lately. So I can pretty much draw one without reference. Don't mean to brag, but we will use reference here, multiple references actually. I'm going to use this for the face and then I've got another one for the pose. So what I'm going to do, I'm kind of going to go off this, but I'm also going to kind of do my own thing. Now, I've got a background, I've changed the background colour just to this sort of creamy colour, and I'm using a blue colour, and I'm using the peppermint pencil, and the canvas is 4500 by 5500, 300 dpi. There we go, we're all caught up. So, now, I will start with the head. Now, I'm looking at this reference and I will follow it ish, but I also, as I said, I've been drawing a lot of giraffes, so I kind of already got him in my head. So this is the snout. It's not the actual skull of the giraffe. I start with the snout, and I do a little couple of bumps here just for the nose. That's where the nostrils go. Okay, and then let's get a bit of a lip thing going on here. So I'm using this. This is all this front part of his face, all right, or his mouth area, the snout. So I'm just using this circle here to build off of that, okay? And we're going to work back from there. So we're going to go back up here towards the head. It's already too big. Let's scale it down. Okay, so that's a little curl that way for one eye will sit under there. And let's do a curl here because that's going to be another eyebrow there. Now this is a pretty unconventional way of doing it. This is definitely, when I say not a tutorial, this one is definitely not a tutorial. This is more of a just draw along, because, yeah, you shouldn't really start like this, but this is how we're starting today because it's my first one back in a while, so I just want to cruise into it. Alright, so let's move back from this face here. As I said, we're kind of looking at the reference of the giraffe and kind of just doing it from how I draw a giraffe. So this is his cheek part, all right? And this is the long bit of snout there. We need to make sure this closes up for later. Okay, now let's chuck in one eyeball here, one eyeball there, all right? Let's just make that curve to give him a bit more of a brow. We'll curve this one as well for brow and round there for brow. So then we've got the sort of starting basic head there of our giraffe. Now let's chuck in some ears. He's got these nice big ears, so let's chuck in one over here. And let's do another one over here, like sosies. We're going to have to move this over and shrink it down again. Alright, now these big things on their head that they use for fighting. Yes, giraffes do fight. They actually quite have some pretty intense battles. If you've never seen a giraffe fight, it's better than a UFC match. Let's chuck in those on the top of his noggin. One sort of, I know his are quite close together, but we're gonna, for our giraffe, we're gonna part them here, and then we're gonna give him. He doesn't have. They do have hair that sort of a strip of hair that runs from their head all the way down their sort of neck. So I like to cartoon it more and sort of have it almost like the front of a mohawk at the top here. I also kind of like to square these off a bit as well. So we'll do that. There we go, there's the start. See, there's our giraffe head, nice and quickly done there. let's make his schnozzer, the holes of his schnozzer a little bit bigger. I'll give him a bit of a lip there as well. So with your giraffe, cartoon giraffes, you can chuck in a mouth here if you want, like that, like so. Let's just make him a little bit, maybe mad, maybe terrified, who knows? Expressions there, you know, hard to draw. Okay, so there's our head. Now, I don't even know why I brought that reference in. We haven't really followed it whatsoever, have we? But that's all right. Let's just give him a few lines under the eyes here. Let's get some detail in the sketch for once in our little life. Okay, the neck will just come from under there. But what I will do is I'm going to import a different reference because I like the way this guy stands with his neck sort of down. So we'll probably have to pivot our head. He can be looking down on something or someone or that sort of thing. So let's look at this giraffe and the way he is standing. All right, so this is why this isn't a tutorial, because this is a very unconventional way of doing things. We shouldn't be, drawing a head and then trying to fit it onto a body. But look, it's a draw along. Okay, draw along with me. Let's shrink it down again. I've really gone way too. Actually, let's turn the whole canvas sideways. I might have to do that so that we see this properly. Let me just check that. It's okay. Just so we got a bit more room to play. Stop moving! A bit more room to play with. Let's move him over here. Alright. So let's have a look here. Let's just literally just looking at how this giraffe is standing, and we're just going to try and emulate the same pose. Let's maybe get a circle in here just to help us with placement of legs. A bit of a tummy down there. Okay. Let's chuck in his old pins. Let's not forget, let's zoom in a bit. There we go, let's not forget the muscles there and at the back there, like so. A little bit of a tum-tum in the middle. Okay, let's straight line down like that. We're going to have to shrink him down again. This guy is quite big. Okay, let's have a look how these legs, look at this, you look at the size of them, really. I mean, look at that. Crazy. Anyway, right. Now, his back leg there isn't really showing. Oop, don't zoom in too much on that. It's a boy. I'll have to censor the video. Alright, let's get this first. There's a little knobbly knee in there, and then draw the rest of that down. Let's get this other front leg in here, another knobbly bit in there. So again, I'm just using this giraffe in this photo just so I can see how a giraffe's legs form. And they sort of separate a bit more there, don't they? That's right. And I'll work that out. And I think we need a bit more of a tum-tum coming down. Okay, let's put in this back leg. I think we'll leave the reproductive organs. Not necessary. Well, I mean, they are necessary, but not for the sake of the cartoon, I don't think, unless you're drawing it for some other purposes. Well, let's not even discuss that. Let's just keep drawing the leg. That one disappears obviously behind there, so let's make this one disappear behind there, and that's also going to help us because we won't have to draw it. Oh, he's got a little tail. Well, quite a big tail actually, not a little tail. I always thought giraffes had small tails. This guy's got a giant tail. It goes all the way down. He's got a long ponytail all the way down. All the way down. Okay. So there we go. Now we just need to probably fix up this neck situation, because let's get bump in there, and then it goes down there. Now, potentially my neck's a little bit for the head. Probably, that's all right. It looks a little bit strange at the moment, but you know what? We will draw through the ugly, as we say. Now let's just maybe mark in a few squares here just to get the idea so that we can get rid of our reference image. Okay, don't have to worry about it too nuts. Let's just get in some bigger squares. He's obviously got a lot of them. Okay. All right, Mr. Giraffe. What's he looking at? He's looking at someone down here. Oh, little person down here. Hello, Mr. Giraffe. Oh, lovely to see you. Don't worry about that. You don't have to draw that strange stick figure that I decided to draw. Okay, let's just... There we go. That's all right. I think that's all right. What do you think? I think it's all right. Okay, so let's do some inking. Let's get layer 1, hit with 2 fingers on the layer, boom. Bring that opacity down. Now, I'm jumping between ink brushes at the moment. I'm either doing the dry ink brush or the Studio Pen, and Studio Pen does have certain settings. Tea break. So yeah, if you want the Studio Pen settings, just go to the how to draw a polar bear, and you'll find there. So let's go. I'm using dry ink brush though for this. So let's go new layer, and let's start inking our giraffe. Oh, too thick. Well, too thick for me. If you like thicker lines, go for it. But that was too thick for me. Now that's too thin. And that, as the Goldilocks would say, is just right, baby bear. Okay, let's... Now, obviously, when we're inking, we add more details than we may have had in the sketch. Well, that's how I do it anyway. Other people would tend to possibly put those details in during the sketch and then just, you know, enable them just to copy it over when they do the line work, but that's the professionals. This is me. Now, again, as I say in most of my videos, the line work, you know, people will comment and say, you know, your lines are uber smooth and straight and wonderful. But again, just go to your pen settings, get that streamline right up to 100. Of course, that's not going to instantly make your lines 100 times better. It does help, of course. You just have to have confidence and just go for it. Because, you know, it's digital art. You can undo if you make a mistake. So just don't be timid. Get straight in there, chuck in your lines, and redo if you need to. Chuck in his ears. Like so. Oop. Another ear, because you've got to have 2. Okay, now these things, whatever they're called, I don't know. Should probably find out. I've lost count of the amount of times I've drawn a giraffe in the last week or so, because that's where I've been. Why I've been so absent and putting videos up and been slack is because I've been drawing a kid's book involving animals, and there were a lot of drafts to draw. So that book is now done. 39 pages of book. Absolute mammoth task, but we finished it, thank the Lord. So let's get this little... See how this guy's got this little sort of mohawk that runs all the way down his back. I'm sure everyone knows what a giraffe looks like, but, you know, just in case it's the first time you're seeing a giraffe. So obviously this is all jagged and blah, 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 but I don't bother with that. We just go straight down his back, and then I do these sort of lines like this, just to, you know, give it some interest. I might every now and then just do a little dip in it, and then take out that little section. There you go. Just to give it a little bit of texture to it. Let's go back to here. So again, that line work, just about having confidence, being nice and smooth. I do have a drawing glove which I bought, and I literally, every time I use it, I'm like, oh, this makes life so much easier. And then I'm like, oh, where's the drawing glove? And then I just spend hours looking for it, and I'm like, oh, whatever. So instead of looking for it for hours, I just decided, let's just get on with things. But yes, if you're thinking about getting any accessories to help you with your drawing, the drawing gloves are pretty good when I use it. Let's just make sure we're keeping an eye actually on what's going on with this leg so that we don't do anything that's going to look silly. Straight leg there. Front leg. I also am just getting over a bit of man flu, so if I sound a bit sexy and congested, that is why. Now we can't see his hooves in here because they're hiding in the grass, but we'll just, will we? I was about to say we'll just do this, and then it looked terrible. So back that up. Yeah, no, that doesn't look right, does it? We might have to. Oh, can I see the back? Because this hoof seems to look a little bit more plausible. We might have to look up giraffe feet because they look shocking. Here he is saying, oh, I've drawn so many giraffes I've lost count. And here he's going, I don't know what giraffe feet look like. How quickly they forget. Let's just chuck this in here. We'll come back to the old feet. Tail. I'm not going to do that long tail. I'm just going to do that for his tail. It does look weird. I know you can't see his other foot/leg in the reference image, but I just think that looks weird that we wouldn't have something in there. It just doesn't look right, does it? Obviously looks fine in the photo. You wouldn't go, oh look, it's a giraffe on one leg, although he does look like he's standing on one leg. Just it looks weird in the image, and I think people would look at that and go, oh, that looks weird, because I'm looking at it going, oh, that looks weird. Let's maybe because the way that comes out, you'd think that would go out and then it would sort of follow through and come out here, but that obviously doesn't work. We've hit that part of the video where I'm not quite sure what to do, and we're now going to waste 12 hours trying to work out where to put the other giraffe foot. That looks also quite stupid. Now let's just leave it as reference as the reference is for now. What are we going to do here? See, that to me looks like that, so it goes like so. I reckon it would go like that. That one even almost looks like it's facing us, but that would be even weirder, wouldn't it? I think I'm getting too caught up on the hooves at the moment. Let's just move away from them and let's just draw some funky little patterns like that. I probably could speed up the inking process, but you know, it's first video back. I don't want you to get here and be jibbed by some speeding up. So we're in this together. And it's not really, we haven't taken, I don't think, that long to draw this so far, so let's just smash it out, shall we? Obviously these you just can do however you want. Randomize them, make sure you've got some butting up against the sides so it shows the pattern going all around, and That makes, obviously gives it a little bit more three-dimensional feel to it. Our recolor is going to come in handy. Come having to colour these squares in, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, what's happened there? Hold on. We seem to have lost screen mirroring. Why has that happened? Oh, I'll edit this out, obviously. I don't know when that disappeared. Alright. Now, we lost screen mirroring for a second there. I'm hoping I'll find out very soon once this video is over if we missed anything, if we did or not. Hopefully not. Okay, now we need a line there. Why do we need a line there? It just helps give us that sort of look of a bridge of a nose. So otherwise it's just this sort of flat space. So just give it a line like that. It just helps to give that more three-dimensional again look. Now we just want to chuck in these here like so. All right. Colour. Do I want to? Don't want to. I'll come up with own colours. Go away. All right. Reference is gone. Good. Now let's colour this giraffe. Let's go new layer underneath our inking layer. Let's get rid of our sketch layer and let's go reference layer on the inking. Let's go down to the next layer. Okay, let's go for a nice sandy colour. The trouble is now with this background colour that I'm using, oh, that's all right. It won't stand out probably as much as we want, but that's all right. Let's chuck that in there. Woof. Oh, look at that. No leaking from the inking pen so far. I'm not sure if that's a very good. I'm going to have to change the background. Not sure if that's good. Oh, yeah, maybe it is. Yes, the background colour wasn't helping us. So let's get a different brown for the schnozzer, like so. I need to fix those nostrils up in a second. We need a much darker brown slash almost black for these bits up here. It's going to increase the colour drop threshold just because that wasn't. If you find I mean this inking pen is hard because it's not always great for filling in, but if you find that when you're filling in your inking you're getting a lot of sort of white spots happening, or you're getting this sort of thing here, then it could be something to do with your colour threshold. So if you just pull it up a bit higher, again, not a good example with this particular inking. Oh, that's too high for that part. Not a particularly good example with this pen, but you can sort of see that it's filling in a few more spots. Anyway, I don't want that the same colour as that. I want it to be a sandier brown for the hair. Let's fill it. Now I'm not using the recolor like I said I would, but I will for the patches of him. Let's use the same colour as his nose for the patches. Now when you colour drop into an area, you can hit this continue filling with recolor and you'll get this little arrow come up and you'll see how it's filled in the background there, but that's all right, don't panic. Just slide your pen across the page. As you can see, I'm just sliding around. It's colouring wherever that little crosshairs is. So it's in there, and then just tap, 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 tap all along. And it'll just keep filling in. So many times I forget to use this, and then I finally, I'm like, why don't I use this? It's so handy. So, doop. No, that's gonna. I already know this is going to leak, so let's quickly just go back to here and fill in the gap there. Let's colour in that. Let's get this darker colour for the tail, because the tails are generally black. I need to fix up, these little actual, no, coloured in the inking layer again. Always do it. Go back, always remember to check what layer you're on before you start colouring, etc. Now I want to go back to the inking layer again because I need to fix up these nostrils. I like to give them a little bit of a three-dimensional look to them because at the moment, as you can see, they look just pretty flat. So I just do something like that to kind of show that there's a little bit like that. Like that. There you go. It kind of makes them a bit more three-dimensional. So then what we would do is colour that the same colour as the front and then make the inside obviously darker. Yeah. See, now that happens when the colour threshold is too high. So you just bring it back a touch. Let's see which this one's going to do. There we go. There you go. So now they look a little bit more three-dimensional and less flat. His eyes, let's colour those in. Whites for that. I'm going to go back to the inking layer to do the pupil. Like so. There we go. Don't forget teeth. Need to be white. Hooves shouldn't be that colour, so let's... Oh no, did I just do some... Yeah, I did the teeth. I did some stuff on the ink. Doesn't matter, whatever. Let's just forget about it. Let's just put a line across these hooves here. Yeah, I'm going to make these. I know they're not going to be... It's not going to be the actual... It's not going to be the actual colour of a normal giraffe's hooves, but... You know, looks fine for our giraffe. Okay, let's do some shading. So new layer between the reference and the colour layer. Clipping mask so that we don't go colour out of the lines. Oh, coffee break. I'm looking at this illustration on my other screen. It's interesting when you look at things not sort of directly looking down and you suddenly go, hold on a second, that looks weird. At the moment I'm looking at this part here, which to me is looking a bit odd. Maybe it is something to do with having this all the way up there. Hold on, let's just bring back our reference for a second. No, because you see you have got that line all the way up there. Alright, let's just keep shading. Maybe that will... Yeah, maybe that won't be annoying me soon, but we'll see. I use Studio Pen at the moment for all my shadowing. It's just a nice pen, so let's just get our shadowing in. Again, I just do shadowing wherever I think. See, I think that's annoying me. Now I'm thinking that this leg is too thick compared to the other leg. It should almost be a bit more like that. Sorry, I can't not fix this because it's going to haunt my dreams unless I do. So, and this is what these videos all are about. I want you to see the warts and all, as they say. Let's just get rid of that there. Go to our colour layer and let's get rid of the colour here. It's a pretty easy fix too, so it's not like it's a massive pain in the bum. Looks a little better. Alright, anyway, let's do our new layer again. Let's go back to Studio Pen. Okay, alright, jeez, Instagram's going off. Okay, oh, I haven't made this clipping mask, there you go. Okay, let's get our shadowing going. Now, for regular watchers of the videos, you'll know that my Apple Pen will, every now and then, randomly just flick itself over to the eraser. It's a setting that I need to change. Plenty of people have told me, just change this setting. And I still have yet to do it, because I'm lazy. Let's bring down the size of this pen. See, just did it again. And again. Okay, so now with shadowing, as I think I was going to start talking about shadowing and then I stopped because the leg was annoying me. Yeah, I just put shadowing, as I say in most of my videos, just wherever. Oh, camera's gone. We're on this one now. Where are we? There. Hello. Yeah, so as I said, I just kind of put it wherever I think they should go. Plenty of good videos that you can watch about shadowing and how to do it properly. So, although some people have said that my shadowing, watching me do shadowing, has helped them do shadowing. So there you go. That's why these are called not tutorials, because if you don't learn anything, it's not my fault. You knew what you were signing up for. And if you do learn something, well, bloody wonderful. Okay, let's... Oh my god, I really have to change that setting. Now, it's interesting. Why is there no shadow going here, JK? I'll tell you why. Because apparently, I haven't filled it in. That's probably, I filled that in on the... Yeah, I've put that on. I put that on the. I'm gonna have to. So what's happened here is I've put this on my inking layer, and now I'm just gonna try and carefully erase it. Without taking out too much of the other line work. Warts and all is what you get with these videos, guys. Warts and all. Okay. Let's get ourselves back on track here. Still not perfectly done, but that's what that'll do for now. I'll put a bit of shadowing in here just to help with that. Look at the three-dimensional stuff. And down here. Okay, now let's put a line under here. Now what you could also do is, I sat there just scribbling, colouring that in. You could make your life easier and just make your the shadowing layer reference. Yeah, you make it your reference like that, so that you can just drop it in and you don't have to worry about colouring in. Another thing that would probably make my work quicker and life easier for myself, but I just always forget to do it. Okay, another bit of shadowing down the back here. Put some behind here where the tail is. Let's use the shadow to create a bit more texture on the old tail. So obviously it's fur. Okay, let's bring down the opacity. Let's bring the background back. Let's bring down the opacity. So to bring down the opacity on something, just click on the layer with two fingers. Opacity, slide it down until you get the sort of level that you're looking for. I think that's pretty good a layer. Let's go. Some shadowing there. You can go around and make some extra lines with your shadowing pen, as I said, to give it a bit more texture if you would like. Sometimes I probably go a little bit overboard with my shadowing. But I like it like that. There he goes, he's very cross. He's a very angry giraffe. Now, there's a little gap here of white. Let's fix that up. Even though it's very small and minute, but we don't want to half-ass these things, do we? Let's just quickly get a bit of colour in there. There we go. Wonderful. Just go away. Okay. Just a little bit more detail around where this big old leg would curl around, maybe a little bit more shadowing there. In fact, I probably want to bring the shadowing off a bit. There. In fact, those who don't know, you can actually, with your erasing tool, you can choose any pen you want for the eraser. So you should probably use to erase. You should probably use the same pen that you're using to ink with, so that it sort of has it all looks similar as you're going around. Let's bring that back off a touch. There we go. The all-important shadow underneath. New layout. Just a very basic shadow underneath. It's not, that is not winning any awards for realism, that shadow. Let's put it that way. Let's bring the opacity down. It's just so it doesn't look like it's sort of floating. I mean, if you wanted, you could maybe chuck in an extra bit, which probably looks rubbish, but that's whatever. There we go. I reckon we're basically done on that. I think everybody. It's not going to win any awards, this one, but it's our first one back. It's our first one back since he's been away. So give a guy a break. It's a giraffe. You'd be able to put that somewhere, and people are like, "Oh, it's a giraffe." You'd be like, "Yeah, it's a giraffe." That's what I was trying to draw. Oh, the only other thing I would probably do is, obviously, a few highlights, because otherwise we've just got nothing but shadow. So, just go around and chuck in a few little. See, this is where my shadows contradict my light. Got shadows where I'm putting lights, and lights where I'm putting shadow. It makes no sense, JK. I know it doesn't make sense. That's why they're not tutorials, guys. We're just drawing along together and having a fun time, aren't we? Aren't we? Oh, you're over there. There you go. Let's sign that bad boy. There you go. Cartoon giraffe. Happy birthday. If it's your birthday. If it isn't, then, early birthday present. I hope you enjoyed the first one back. If you did, subscribe. If you didn't, please don't comment. Just click on the next video. Alright, see you next time, legends.